Hello guys, today we are mastering control flow and exception handling. Two topics that appear in every Java interview. Alright, let's start with the foundation. Loops. When an interviewer asks about loop types, here's your comprehensive answer. Java has four main types of loops: for loops, enhanced for loop, while loop, and do while loop. Let me give you examples. For loop, when you know exactly how many times to iterate. Enhanced for loop, for collections and arrays. While loop, when you don't know the iteration count. Do while loop, execute at least once. Here is a tip for you. Always mention when to use each type. It shows practical thinking. Here is a quick challenge for you. Pause the video and think, which loop would you use for reading user input until they type quit? Drop your answer in the comments. Now let's talk about switch statement, a topic that's evolved significantly in modern Java. The switch statement allows multi-way branching based on the value of an expression. It's more efficient than multiple if-else statements for comparing a single variable against multiple values. Let me show you both traditional and modern approaches. So here is the traditional switch and this is modern switch expression. Mention that switch expressions are more concise and do not require break statements. Now we are getting into heart of Java interviews, exception handling. When they ask what is exception handling? Exception handling is Java's mechanism for dealing with runtime errors gracefully, allowing programs to continue execution or fail elegantly instead of crashing unexpectedly. Think of it like this. Imagine you are driving and encounter a roadblock. Exception handling is like having GPS that automatically finds an alternate route instead of just stopping the car. The three keywords that you must know: try, catch, finally. Try is the code that might throw an exception. Catch handles the exception, and finally, always execute, that is cleaning up the code. Says that exception handling improves user experience and system reliability. Checked versus unchecked exception. Checked exception must be handled at compile time. Compiler forces you to catch or declare them. So examples are IO exception, SQL exception, unchecked exception, runtime exceptions not checked at the compile time, typically programming errors. Examples are null pointer exception, index out of bound exception. Here's I explain it. Checked exceptions are like getting medical checkup. So you are forced to deal with potential issues beforehand. And unchecked exceptions are like accidents. They happen at runtime due to programming mistakes. That is explained in the below examples. You can check it out. Mention that checked exceptions force better error handling design, while unchecked exceptions usually indicate bugs that should be fixed. So here is a quick challenge for you. Is arithmetic exception checked or unchecked? Think about it and let me know. Try with resources. Try with resources automatically closes resources that implement auto-closable, preventing resources leak and making code cleaner. So this is what you can see. Before try with errors, it shows you understand resource management and modern Java features. Throw versus throws. This confuses many developers, but I will make it simple for you. Throw actually throws an exception. Throws declares that a method might throw an exception. That is declaration. Think of it like throws as putting warning sign on your method and throw as actually triggering the alarm. Here is an example for you. Try without catch. Here's a question that trips up many developers. Can we have try without catch? Yes, absolutely. You can have try with only finally. No catch is required. So here is a valid scenario for that. The question is when to use it. When you want to clean up but don't want to handle the exception locally. When using try with resources for automatic resource management, when you want the exception to propagate to the caller. This is useful when I want to ensure cleanup happens but let the calling method. Why might you want an exception to propagate instead of handling it locally? Think about it. Exception propagation is like passing a hot potato up to the call stack. Here's how it works. The propagation flow, method C throws, method B propagates, and method A propagates, caller handles. When an exception is thrown and not caught locally, it propagates up the call stack to the calling method. This continues until someone catches it or the program terminates. It's like escalating an issue at work. If you can't solve it, you pass it to your manager, who might pass it to their manager. Versus exception. This distinction is crucial for understanding Java's error handling philosophy. Error. Serious system level problem. Applications shouldn't try to catch. Usually indicate JVM issues. So examples are out of memory error, stack overflow error. What is exception? Exception is application level problem. Can and should be handled. Part of normal program flow. Examples are IO exception, SQL exceptions, and here are the code comparison that you can see. Challenge time. Here's a scenario for you. You are building a file processing service. It needs to read configuration from file, process user data, writes result to output file, send email notification. So your mission is to design the exception handling strategy, considering which exceptions might occur, where should you catch them, how would you ensure resources are cleaned up. Pause the video and think. Okay, so use try with resources for all file operations. Catch IO exceptions specifically for file issues and catch email exceptions separately. Don't fail entire processes. Now your turn. Post your solution in the comments. That's it for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching the video.